Today is SAMSONAS Day. So we got one SAMSONAS here, and we got another one in that box for our good friend Matt. So what makes Matt rad?
I think what makes me rad is that I have that don't give a f attitude. I push hard, I build my own and I care a lot about what I do.
Yeah! That's like the best answer. I gotta hug this guy. I look up to this guy, he's really cool.
Thank you, Dan.
Alright, see you, Matt. And then we're gonna look inside there. Let's just wait and see what we find inside there, because you know we're gonna find something not great in one or the other. This one I opened it up after Irwindale. Not too much excitement, nothing crazy to be seen. There's one gear I want to replace because I see like starting to wear some of the metal on one of the gears. I think it is third gear, and there might be a dog ring that I'll replace. Other than that, not seeing anything crazy. Matt's had more torque, more horsepower go through it.
Matt built pieces of
So let's see what we find in there. But for the most part, I think it worked good for him, so maybe there's nothing strange happening there. So what we'll probably do is take my diff off of that and bring that other plate up here, and we'll do 2 transmissions. So I'm gonna grab the tools. There's gonna be a little bit of remaining gear oil in both of them, I would assume, so we're gonna have a little bit of a mess to clean up. So we have some old t-shirts for that. All right, let's get started. So what we're looking for is signs of wear. Definitely have signs of wear right here on the front there. That's your drop gear. The other half is still inside here up top. We'll take the front face off. So the drop gear is riding together at all times. It's just gonna wear out because constant contact at all times. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. Matt's first gear looks like it's not healthy. There's a groove on every single tooth. See that? It's starting about here and over, like below my fingernail. See that mark that's not focusing very well? But that mark is consistently there on every single tooth. So it's torquing over and binding into this, and the edge of this on each one of those is stabbing into that as it goes around, and over enough revolutions throughout the season it starts to take a little material. If he was to go another season on that, for sure one of these is going to chip off and he'll regret that he didn't replace that. So we need to take it all the way down to be able to get this guy out, and then replace this. We need the part number off this guy, and then we're gonna kind of do our search along everything else and look for anything else that's messed up. But more than likely, if this is getting a little bit worn out, then so is this down here, the mating gear on the lower shaft. So then we may when we take it apart see that this one needs to be replaced as well. So for sure he needs drop gear set and a first gear, and then we'll kind of look for dog rings that are worn on the edge, which is to be expected, and you won't see a lot of it in a sequential, but you'll see a tad bit. And so if we find one we don't like, the gears he uses the most, which I could see like fourth gear has a little bit of wear, but overall it looks really healthy. I think this looks nicer than mine looks on the inside. Good job, Matt. You didn't break anything.
Yet.
Yet.
That counter shaft is all one piece, isn't it?
This one?
Yeah.
No, they all separate. They're all just different spacings and everything slides apart. It'll like slide and then like catch here and it won't want to come off and you're like trying to slip and slide and then it finally comes off. At least in the past with other ones, so we'll see. This one is like an updated version of the inside of mine because like the way the dogs are held on is different. So this is like the next generation, like 1 year later than mine, I would assume. And see the different color on the shift forks. But the cool thing is I don't see like heat on any shift fork, so there's no like kind of wearing. I see like lots of material on this one here where it like kind of like ground itself in, but I don't think that it looks like it did it very bad because there's not heat on it. Like remember on mine it was like showing heat on there. So usually there's very minimal stuff you got to rebuild on these, but we're gonna find everything, let Matt know, order it, and then get it back together at the end of next week. We'll open up mine shortly. It is all blown apart. Counter shaft, main shaft. We have a list of like 4 things that we're gonna do to Matt. And let's open up mine and see. Matt's has 1 year on it, mine has 2 years on it, and then any practice that I had done. We've only replaced a handful of things so far, so let's see what we're gonna replace this year. Probably about 4 things as well. It's not gonna be too crazy. Dan's transmission right here. Matt's transmission right here. Matt's is like the next generation of a SAMSONAS. There's some better stuff. Different heat treating color. So different coating. Like see the shift forks. Same gear ratio, same amount of teeth, same kind of everything, but it looks like there's revisions made from one season to the next, and I got the previous one. Never really had issues, but I'm sure they had a reason why they updated things. So Matt's is a little bit better. The one thing I'm noticing is his dog rings are lasting longer, but they have like slightly different color to them. So possibly it's either heat related and his was running colder, which I just doubt it because, oh maybe because it's further away from the engine. Possibly. Could be that. And mine's slammed against the engine because his is like a transaxle setup on the Corvette with a torque tube. Could be that or just next generation, we'll see. So I need to order a couple dog rings and I for sure need a first gear, possibly gonna get another gear. I gotta look at all of them because there's like smallest bits of wear, but I'm kind of picky, so I don't really want to start a season with it. I want it to be like new again. My bearings look good, Matt's bearings look pretty good, so I'm gonna go back through right now his bearings, sliders, all his gears, and just be really picky with everything. So we start out the season with like really solid units, and then that's where we're at. So when you guys need a SAMSONAS, hit me up at Rad Industries. We can set that up for you guys. There's like a 90-day wait period, but then when you need to rebuild it, I can help you get parts and you can do it yourself, or you can send it to me and I'll help you refresh, rebuild. Well, that was Sequential Transmission 101. Didn't really tell you how to do it, but you saw the inside. Sequential transmissions are the most fun ever car part you will probably ever buy. It's the most exciting. Mark's here tonight, so he's getting some Tefcell wiring. He's gonna take it back to the helicopter hangar and start making this stuff come to life. Still use the same high output coils because they don't fail, but we got to get that shell of a car over there back together soon, so hurry up everyone. The main reason we brought the camera out right now was to let you guys know that I've worn the same sweatshirt for 12 days straight. No, that didn't happen. It might only be like 4 days. But it's a blue one, and you guys should buy one. So they're durable. You should get one. We are over here with Rory's car. Lots of cool things to look at here. A little bit of the XRP crimp fittings and some of the hoses. First off, probably want to put an alternator and a power steering pump on here so we know where everything is in relation to the hoses that are going to go in and out. And we have the belts on, so I might do that first. After that, we could do a couple of the crimp fittings here We could do these power steering ones, these two oil feed to the oil cooler, the water in and out there, the water in and out down underneath here. This is all back in place over here. And then we could actually start going underneath the car with everything. I don't want to do this one into here over to these two fittings until I get this one other part I'm waiting for. Let's get you guys a visual what we're talking about. We need this guy. So this is an ORB that's supposed to be like a slip-on fitting for a larger hose, like let's say 1.5 1.75 hose would work. Either way, all we need to do is be able to get -20 welded onto it, and at the same time a -10 welded onto it, so that the expansion tank can return in right where the water's pulling from and then let it circulate itself smoothly. We also could make this hose from here to here. So Rory's stuff, we're gonna try and do all uniform, same color. We didn't buy everything for Rory's car. Probably about 50% the fittings and the hoses. Maybe more than 50% of the hoses, but 50% of the fittings. He still is gonna have a bunch of miscellaneous smaller stuff, vacuum hose stuff. That won't happen towards the end of everything. We're not running these valve covers. He's gonna do something special. We'll show you guys when it shows up. Let's get that power steering pump. Hey guys, look at this. Boom. Those are all nice, and I even zip tied those with a little double zip tie I like to do. Then we did these up to the reservoir back to the pump, and then from the cooler to the reservoir I was gonna do down to the rack, but I took some tape off Rory had put there when he delivered the car. He removed like a part of the rack, so I called him. He's gonna bring it by next time he comes down. We'll finish those 2 lines later, but let's go up with the car because I'm still right now building a -20, one of the feedback from the radiator to the motor, and it's kind of not the easiest to work with because it's a big -20. But I got it in there. I just need to thread it, so it's kind of bound up right now. That's why I'm raising the car, so that this, yeah, you'll see in a second. Dang, this car is cool. Look, so this is returned from the radiator into this heat exchanger. Heat exchanger then cools the oil, and then it goes from heat exchanger up into the motor, which we don't have that 120 like I told you. So right now, this, yeah, I need to like kind of hold it out of the way, thread this, and it was kind of hard for leaning over the car, so I raised it. I'm gonna do that right now, thread it in tight, and then I think call it a night, because it's like 8:30 or something like that. So, but here's the underside of these lines I was making, and that double zip tie. So if you guys are wondering why I do the one zip tie around and then the other zip tie around that zip tie, is so that it's anti-vibration for these hoses, and then it holds them separated and then keeps anti-vibration from chafing. It keeps them just far enough away but close enough together. That's your tip for today. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Good night.